So I'm pleased to introduce my colleague from beautiful Boston, Lisa Aguilar, Director of Product Marketing from ThoughtSpot. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cindy.
So
We heard some
question.
great stories here
Yeah.
from Alana and Raj, and I'm sure they've got some great achievements, and everyone seems excited about that on LinkedIn. So I want to take you a quick tour about what it is they were able to achieve and how they were able to achieve that with ThoughtSpot. Now, for those of you who don't know us, we are a cloud analytics platform. We are the category creators and leaders of search and AI-driven insights. All right, so when you immediately log into ThoughtSpot, everything that you need is right here, right at your fingertips. This is the pulse of what's happening with your company data. You can see the trending signals. You can stay connected, see what's changing, what's hot with your business data, and never miss a moment. Think of this very much similar to your social feed. You're always going to stay on top of what's hot. What's more is, because we connect live to your cloud data warehouse, you can create a full 360-degree view of your business. Everything about this is built to get you the exact answer that you need right when you need it, not go back to the data well and try and rebuild this one more time. And that really can only be powered through search. So here we have search data. In my search data, I can ask questions of my data like, what were my daily sales? Let's take a look at that, daily sales. And I want to look at this, what it was over the last 30 days. Great. And then I want to take a look at this by product type. Now, one thing I just want to call out very quickly here is with ThoughtSpot, we don't just index your metadata. We index the entire data set. So everything is available for you right here, right at your fingertips when you need it. You're not limited to it. So we're going to hit product type. And with search answers, just like that, in seconds, I have my answers. Now, as you can see, the search intelligence, as I start to type in, makes recommendation based on my behavior, as well as what I have access to. Because I have a 360-degree view, let's say I want to actually look at this now by channel type, not just what's being sold, but where it's being sold. And I want to customize this into a stacked chart because that's how I like to look at my data. And just like that, at a click of a button, I can switch this chart. What's going on in the background is natural language query is translating my business question into a search query against all of my data. And this is going back to what Raj said. This is data at the speed of a tweet. What's more is, like Raj was saying, none of this is static. You can completely interact with this in the way that makes the most sense for you and to get the data that you need at the granular level that you want. So we can look at this by product name. I continue to explore this down, and let's say I want to take a look at this by where the stores are being sold. And this is very relevant information. This is why a lot of our customers are moving off of these static dashboards and embracing search and AI. They need these real-time, extremely granular views when they're releasing new products or adjusting to buying behaviors that are changing constantly today. Now, what's more is, as Cindy said, it's not enough just to build AI machine learning models. You should be able to put them in the hands and making decisions really quickly. With ThoughtSpot, you're not just searching all of your data, but you're also able to look for all of your AI machine learning models that you're building with automated machine learning tools like Data Robot or DATAcated, like Cindy just mentioned. Search is the absolute fastest way to make them actionable and surface them up seamless and intuitively. So let's take a look at a rolling forecast, which is a very real world scenario these days in terms of supply chain. So we're going to take a look at daily, and I want to look at sales. And I'm going to pull in my forecasting model that's already been built. So I have my forecast 2. This is my optimistic forecast. And forecast 3, this I know is my pessimistic forecast. And as Cindy said, pulling in third-party data is really important to give you those leading indicators. So right here, I have COVID cases. This is Johns Hopkins data. It's live. It's being able to pull in so I can see how that's going to maybe change some of my users' behavior as they go through this. And I want to do this as a rolling last 90 days. And I want to look at it in the next 90 days. Perfect. Here we go. ThoughtSpot is all about honoring a single source of truth. Now, this is extremely critical when it comes to your data, but it is crucial when it comes to your AI and machine learning models. So let me group this here because I like my forecasts grouped on the same side as my sales. So I'm going to go ahead and just adjust this view to the view that I want to see it. And perfect, just like that. Here are my 90-day sales. Here is my pessimistic forecast, my optimistic forecast, and I've got COVID cumulative cases that I'm pulling from Johns Hopkins data. Now, of course, what's going to happen, as Alana and Raj are talking about, you're going to get a next question. So it's not just about the last 90 days or the next 90 days. Let's say I want to take a look at this in a shorter time frame. I want to look at this as the last 30 days. And I want to take a look at this now at the next 30 days because things are changing extremely rapidly now with things that are happening. And let's say I only want to look at a particular set of information. So I want to look at jackets, perfect. And I want to look at pants. I am in Boston, so it's quite cold. So I want to only look at winter weather here. And then just like that, once again, getting the information right at my fingertips the way that I need it. So your data teams aren't looking at maintaining these models and making sure that they're getting to the right publishing servers or having to recreate workbooks. You're creating these machine learning models, you're writing them back into your cloud data warehouse, surfacing them up quickly and easily to all of your analysts and your data teams through the power of search. Now, what's more is this isn't black box. We're all about giving you the transparency that you need to make sure you can understand how we came to this answer. So if we can take a look here, what's happening, you can see exactly how all the information was calculated. What's more is when we look underneath the hood, we can click on see that our intelligence here automatically created and optimized and generated the SQL for you. So you're not having to worry about tweaking it and making sure that it's performant and getting you the right answers when you need. The intelligence is handling this on the fly in sub-seconds for you. Now let's take a look at this query visualizer. As Cindy said, it's time to find the joy in our jobs again. It's not about battling these joins and subqueries, trying to bend over backwards to create multiple table joins, or worrying about chasm traps. This is also what Raj was talking about again. You want those insights at the speed of tweet. You don't want to be that table ping pong questioning. ThoughtSpot handles all of that for you so you can focus on the information, getting it out of the data and not building these customized one-off data workflows and updating all of these workbooks as you need to. So perfect. One of the questions we often get asked a lot is, well, I'm new to my organization. I've never used ThoughtSpot as a business user or even as an analyst. That's okay. Just like you don't have to take a class on Google or take a detailed training on how to turn on your iPhone and get going. Our consumer grade search experience makes it super easy for anyone to get started. So let's ask a question. What are the best selling regions? Let's say I just want to take a look. I'm a new merchandising manager. I want to get a sense on who's doing well. Go ahead and click go there. Now, what we're searching here is every answer that's possibly been created that is addressing the business question I just asked. With ThoughtSpot, your insights aren't lost in the sea of desktop workbooks locked in disparate publishing servers. You have everything right here, no more analytic waste, reinventing the wheel for you when you're working on things. What's more, as a business user, I'm typing in as I would ask a business question. Now, the AI built into ThoughtSpot is ignoring all of this filler language. It's recognizing that's not really my data question. What's more is best, as we all know, is not a data term, but ThoughtSpot is understanding the intent that I'm trying to ask with the term best. So it's showing me everything that I need to know, and it's thinking, do I want total sales? Maybe I meant by region, maybe I meant by growth. It's servicing up all the insights for me. And ThoughtSpot isn't just searching, again, the metadata of these insights, it's searching all the underlying data to try and give you the most accurate answer based on your question here, and it's ranking them in terms of preference and usage and machine learning intelligence that's built in. Now, This is when we go back to what Alana was talking about, that tremendous adoption and that cultural change. And this is why AI-driven insights is a whole new paradigm. Like, the reality of it is, business users, they don't want to talk data. They want to ask business questions in normal business language. So we took a different approach. We taught our software how to understand these questions and understand the intent of them with the power of AI and machine learning. Now, sometimes you can find exactly what you're looking for, but sometimes this is a jumping off point of your insight. You want to see it in a slightly different way. It's great. Just click on the insight here. We're going to use this as a perfect jumping off point to make sure I'm getting the view that I need to see exactly the way I want to see it. Once again, we have AI making suggestions here on this insight. So think of this when you check out at Amazon, and it makes recommendations about products that may interest you as well. This is a very similar idea, but it's doing it against your insights. The other thing, as Raj and I keep alluding to, nothing is static about this. This is live connected to your cloud data warehouse, so you can explore this data without any bottlenecks, without having to rebuild anything. You can take a look at this by SKU. You can take a look at this by store. You can see this exactly how you want to see this information. Again, this is where Raj was talking about that table ping pong, trying to have a conversation with your analytics, and that's what ThoughtSpot supports. This is also why customers like Walmart and Canadian Tire are de-investing in their dashboard solutions, because they need these real-time, extremely granular views of the data when they're doing things like price optimization for discounting. They want to get it at the SKU and the store level. Now, we heard about pinboards, so let's take a look at some pinboards. This is another way that users are going to interact with your data here. So let's take a look at this. As Raj was explaining, these aren't static. These are living, breathing insights. This is a data narrative that you can interact with extremely well. You can go ahead and drill down anywhere that you want. You can take a look at this in the exact way that you want to see it. You can do this in presentation mode, actually present this data and information. Again, I saw some of those LinkedIn questions of, let me get back to you. No more, let me get back to you. Stay in your meeting, have your conversation, drill down, answer the next question, get to the information that you need right then and there. And because this is all browser-based, you can go ahead and just kick out of that, turn that back to normal. Now, you heard a little bit about our Spot IQ. So Spot IQ is our one-click auto analysis being driven by AI. So let's say you want to understand what are the driving factors that made your top 10 stores your top 10 stores. Simple. Click my Spot IQ, go ahead and kick off my analysis. Now, a lot of times what we get is we get these views, and as business users, I kind of want to customize this again, get a little bit of a detailed view that I want to see, no problem. Just going to go ahead and copy and edit this one. Again, I get the flexibility that I need to take this insight, customize it, optimize it in the way that I want to consume it with zero limitations and problems. All right, so I don't want to see this by monthly. Let's say I want to see this actually by daily. So I'm going to go ahead and just switch that out. And instead of product types, I actually want to see this by jackets. So I'm just going to delete that, and I'm going to replace that with jackets. As you can tell, it's still very cold. Jackets are on my mind here in Boston. And once again, within seconds, I've got the insights that I need. In a normal dashboarding world, I'd have to go back to my dashboard developer to get me this insight. And now let's see, I've got some trends going on here. I've got a low point and I've got a peak up here. I kind of want to understand what are the key drivers that have driven this. Again, one click, Spot IQ, auto analysis, kick that off. Within seconds, I can drive and ask questions of my data that I didn't even know to ask. ThoughtSpot is automatically generating new information. So let's take a look at this.
Lisa,
Top 10 stores. Yeah.
that was a great demo. And I know there's so much goodness that everyone wants to see. But we really wanted to just give everyone a taste here today. We know we're short on time. So I want to thank you for the demo. Thank everyone for attending, listening to the trends, our customer stories, seeing ThoughtSpot in action. Next, we really want you to get a taste of it. Try it yourself. Take this 1-hour class. It's a white glove experience where we guide you through it. You can experience all the ThoughtSpot goodness in real time. So sign up for this class. With that, on behalf of ThoughtSpot, Kate, thank you to the whole DATAcated team for hosting us today, and I'll pass it back to you, Kate.